Everything has changed for the San Francisco 49ers, going from 2024, which was a horrible year, was the end of the 2023 season that was incredibly disappointing, to then a 6-11 horrible season, and everything has changed even more, just changed. I'm going to talk about it in this video. Hit subscribe if you're looking for daily 49ers content. Appreciate you guys, and so much appreciate you giving me your time, watching these videos, liking, subscribing, getting in the comments section. This has been a super fun community to be a part of, and I genuinely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But let's start with the off-season vibes. Yes, the off-season vibes have changed from every single angle imaginable. But remember last year when we had holdouts, we went into training camp, and the vibes were just off, and everyone was talking about how the vibes were just off, and people were like, it's no big deal. Who really cares? Super Bowl hangover, whatever. And nope, they were 100% right. The vibes were off. The Super Bowl hangover was real. The holdouts were real. Players wanting to get paid, understandably, but real. And all of that led to a really, really bad injury-ridden season, and all of that has changed. I'm excited about that, but let's just throw out there, the vibes, right? We've got the players, if it's going to play. There we go, back in the building. The 49ers just put this video out there. Just felt so good to see everybody out on the training field in, lifting weights in the gym. Like, it is just a good feeling to see Fred Warner out there, Demo, George Kittle. Everybody is out there. Everybody's involved. And that is also part of why this all feels so different. Nick Bosa is there. You've got Trent Williams there. These are guys that do not train in the Bay Area in the offseason. They're known for training in Texas and Florida, respectively. They've got their routines. And then you also see different vibes like this. You've got Brandon Aiyuk, George Kittle, yes, and Brock Purdy. I had to look at the picture for a second there. All out golfing together. We saw earlier this offseason, we saw Brock Purdy get together with Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowing and go golfing together and throw some ball. Like, it just feels different already. The vibes are definitely going to be different. Everybody's there. Brock Purdy showing up before a contract gets done. Trent Williams showing up. No contract needed. George Kittle showing up. Contract wasn't done yet. And the 49ers look different. Something is going on right now. I'm just telling you, the vibes are different. And that's not the only thing. We got other things that are different. We're going to get into all of that right now. The front office. Let's talk about the front office, who is also different right now. They have been very vocal. From what the public can see, they've been way more vocal about their early negotiations, both with George Kittle and with Brock Purdy. If you remember last year, yes, there was a lot of questions around, April and stuff around contracts with guys like Brandon Aiyuk, and whether or not Deebo Samuel was going to get traded and all that stuff. But it was not the same consistency, the pace at which contract negotiations seem to be going, and then you get George Kittle, boom, done. Just like that. It's completed. It's over. He is signed. He could be a Niner for life now, and it just feels so good. And to have it done in April feels so unusual. I know it's May now that I'm recording this video, but have it done in April feels so good and so different from how things have been done in the past. Of course, who we got? Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Brandon Aiyuk. These are all guys who have held out, who have been signed in the latter parts of July into August. And to have George Kittle done in April feels absolutely incredible. Brock Purdy, everything looks to be trending in the right direction and looks to be done early. That's a really, really good sign. Obviously, also helps that Brock Purdy is showing up and being present, being a team player, so you're not going to see the negative impacts, assuming this gets done soon, the negative impacts of a guy holding out and not showing up and not throwing to his guys. So there's huge benefits there as well. Throw on top of that, the 49ers have managed to have an incredible dead cap hit this year. They have chosen to change things up from the way they've been doing it. They have eaten their, what's that phrase? The whole they took it, right? They've taken this one on the chin. $80.9 million of dead cap space this year, a record high for the Niners organization. And despite all of that, have managed to find a way to wiggle themselves into $50 million free agents, or $50 million available funds ready to go right now of cap space, okay? I'm working on my words here. I'll get them, I swear. Just stick around. I'll find some words eventually. So $50 million in cap space is pretty crazy. I think they're fourth highest in the NFL right now in cap space heading into this season after having an offseason where they saw so many players leave, and then they managed to have their highest record ever of cap space used and dead cap space, it's crazy. Okay, we'll move on to the next one because I'm working on language today, and I think I'm going to get there. But there was this other thing, where the 49ers had to go into a draft. And there's this statistic out there, I don't remember the specific numbers anymore, but teams who go on and have 2 or 3 good drafts in a row tend to have a really high percentage of being playoff-bound teams. That's just the way that it runs. You can actually see, I forgot to put the graphic up, but guys, the 49ers are picked to win the NFC West. I don't even know how they did that. And I love the 49ers, but I don't know how they did that. And so there's clearly a perspective out there on what Robert Saleh is going to get out of this defense, what this draft has done for this defense, that the 49ers are still picked, despite everything that's happened with Los Angeles, still picked to be the favorites to get out of the division. It is amazing. It is truly amazing, and I'm stoked about it. So one of the things that the 49ers had needed to do is have another draft. They had a great draft last season. They needed to have a back-to-back draft. They need to have a second draft and build on that momentum. If they hit on this draft, then you are in a playoff contention window, no doubt. And obviously we can quibble on whether or not you think that's a Super Bowl window or not. I'm pretty optimistic about where the 49ers are at. And I think if you're a playoff team and you can get right at the right time, then anybody could be a Super Bowl contender at that. Well, most anybody who make the playoffs can be technically a Super Bowl contender if they get hot at the right times. I think the 49ers have the mentality, they have the coaching, they have everything they need to play complementary football now with special teams, coordinator, all that stuff. And in addition to that, the 49ers have gone out there and they have impressed some people with their draft picks. Matt Miller of ESPN did his top 100 draft picks out of the 257 draft picks available, and the 49ers had 4 on the top 100 list. And I'll tell you what that actually means when I say top 100, because obviously it's not the first 100 players picked, right? But just for comparison's sake, a team like the Broncos, who have kind of some similar ratings in some similar areas, only had 2 out of the top 100. So this list isn't based purely on talent. That's why we had pre-draft prospect rankings. Here we factored in value, where a player was drafted versus where he was ranked pre-draft, scheme fit, and how the selection addressed a need, what the prospect brings on the field, and whether additional assets were gained or lost in draft day trades to acquire him. Every round is represented, and there are even 38 picks from day 3 among those 100 highlighted sections. So this is kind of more of an overall grade. If you take in everything into account, if you're landing in the top 100, a lot of players, that is a really good sign of the value you've gotten in different rounds of the game, or of the NFL draft, which is a game. So of course, first there being Mykel Williams, second being CJ West, third being Jordan Watkins, the wide receiver, absolute lightning in a bottle. I cannot wait to watch this guy run slick routes and run fast. I did not say slick. Ricky Pearsall, please forgive me for saying those words. And then, of course, Jordan James. So the 49ers, interestingly, if you look at what happened here, now Alfred Collins isn't on this list. I don't like that because I really like the Alfred Collins pick, but whatever, that's fine. Okay, so four of the top 100, there you have it. Now, let me pay attention to just like one little interesting detail. In that top 4, you have a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a wide receiver, and a running back. These are 4 guys that we've talked about at other times this last week or so. These are players that are supposed to be impact players this year. And that's a good sign because you don't typically draft, you draft for future, right? You don't draft for now, you draft for future, you do free agency for now, but you're seeing the 49ers drafting players that are very likely able to contribute this year in some solid way, shape, or form. And that's not including guys like Bergen, who's supposed to be a punt returner potentially for the 49ers. That's going to be what he's kind of fighting for as a roster spot. You've got, of course, Alfred Collins, who I think is a day 1 starter. I think is going to be starting all season long. Knock on wood that he's healthy. So I think there's a lot of upside for the 49ers right now. And I think they have reversed a major problem. And we're going to see a very, very different 49ers team heading forward. All gas, no brakes. We are 8 days away from seeing rookies on the field in rookie minicamp. It's going to be exciting to see it. I can't wait to cover. I can't wait to talk about it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on all of the action. Appreciate you guys and hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday night. You are almost there. It is almost the weekend.